I want to talk about the timing of this because that has been a question over the past 48 hours since the diagnosis came to light. The news has come when the audio of the Her tapes has come out. Also, explosive reporting on President Biden's mental acuity while he was in office is making headlines. David Axelrod said that conversations regarding President Biden's cognitive abilities and mental acuity while he was in office should be set aside for now in light of this diagnosis. What's your reaction to that argument?
I think that's ridiculous. I mean, us talking about it or not talking about it isn't going to change anything about the way the former president's being treated. Look, this is a medical diagnosis. He's going to be, I'm assuming former President Biden's going to be talking with oncology doctors or his urologist, one for that matter. Apparently, he's already started some hormone shots, which are help relieve the male body of testosterone. Once testosterone is gone, a lot of cancer cells need that to survive and they just die. And so, his treatment's not going to be changed about this, but what goes back is to the relevance is why would anybody in America trust the Biden administration, or honestly, a lot of the Democrats for that matter, and mainstream media, who said that the president's acuity was okay. I hate that people are now saying that this was covered up and hidden, the prostate cancer diagnosis was covered up and hidden. It probably was not. But the fact that there is conjecture and there's all sudden reasons to believe that his cognitive ability was definitely covered up just puts a further cloud on really the administration and those who hid the mental cognitive decline of the president from the American people.
I think what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, Vice President J.D. Vance shared something similar. He said, he is feeling for the former president. He's thinking about him and his family. He also then followed up with this. Whether the right time to have this conversation is now or at some point in the future, we really do need to be honest about whether the former president was capable of doing the job. Do you still think we need to have that conversation? And is now the right time in a few weeks? I mean, what does that look like?
No, I don't think there's any reason to not have that conversation now. It doesn't dim anything about President Biden's treatment or what he's going through whatsoever. Let's just say we take the cancer diagnosis out, we're talking about it. The conversation is about his mental decline and the fact that this was hidden by the American people, by his wife of all people, by his family, by his staff members, all of these things going on. So adding this other fuel to the fire, I don't think it changes the conversation to question, why did they lie so much to the American people?
And right when this news came out, President Trump released a statement saying that he and his wife, First Lady Melania Trump, are thinking about the Bidens. President Trump suggested, though, after that yesterday, that somebody is not telling the facts here. But what you're saying is, as a doctor, based on your expertise, you don't believe that the prostate cancer diagnosis was covered up, although you have questions separately about President Biden's mental acuity while in office.
Well, I just can't say that it was covered up. There's no indication. The only way I would know if it was covered up or not is to know when the prostate biopsy was done. When was the determination of cancer done? It very well could have been just 5 or 6 weeks ago. Maybe he had some hip pain, and then finally somebody did a PSA and a prostate examination on him. That may very well be plausible, and that very well could have happened. Or it could have happened, a year or two ago, and he's been on blood tests. I mean, he's been on hormone treatments, and something else happened. Again, I'd like to know when the biopsy was done, when the bone scan showed the metastatic disease. That would give us the truthful answer about the entire thing.